I can keep moving, my image will be formed. You see that? If I keep far away from the lens, my image is on the other side. If I bring it very near, you see how big the image is becoming on the other side? If I literally bring very near to the lens, do you see how the image is formed on the same side of the lens? Okay, so let's do this in terms of math. Let's calculate all these distances. So for that, the first thing what you do is on your first page, write down this data. The distance between the focal point to the lens will go here. How much is the distance? How do you measure? Pull this ruler and then measure it. If you all don't know how to measure it, the number also is mentioned here. So let that number go to the first box. Are we getting? Do you all find it? Will you please share with her? Both of you can share. Has everybody got? Has everybody got this number, this yellow point to the lens? This distance is the focal point. You see the word focal length? So put this number there. Are we getting? The yellow point to the lens is the distance. So that distance goes for F, focal length. Are we getting? Yeah. The yellow one, the yellow point, that's your focal length. Focal point to the lens. That's your distance. That goes here. So how much is the distance? 80. So put that 80 there. Are we getting? Thomas?
Yeah.
Good?
2F? What was 2F?
Yeah, 2F is 2 times of your F value. No, from the focal point to the lens. How much is the distance? 80. Did you get that? Okay, good. Hey man, can you please keep your phone away and then log on to your screen? Are we getting? Okay, you know how much is the 2F? If F is 80, how much would be 2F? 160. Good. So put that number here. The second box. Now let's find the height of the object. So pull this vertical ruler and find the height of the object. Pull the ruler and find the height of the object. And put that number here. Are we getting? Here.
What?
Oh, this?
We're doing the object.
Yeah, the height of the object. When you measure the height of the object, it has to be just the object, not the frame height.
Oh, okay.
Just the height of the object, not the frame height. Okay, you both can share. Keep your phone away, please. Okay, are we done? Are we getting? Yeah. Are we getting that? This is your object. First measure this distance, okay? And then put that distance here for the focal length. The yellow point to the lens is the focal point. Okay? Okay. Now what we are going to do is, we would be working on this side, placing the object at different distances as per the instructions mentioned on each column. Do you see certain instructions are mentioned at each column?
Yes.
The first column tells you to keep beyond 2F. So how much was your 2F? It's here. How much was your 2F?
160.
160. So please keep beyond 2F and then measure the distance. That's your DO. So please understand what's your DO and DI. So this is your DO. So DO is the object distance from the lens, from this lens to the object. That's your DO. And then your DI is from the lens to the image. Are we getting? Do you see here on your table, DO, DI? Okay, so you have to measure and put those numbers when you place the object beyond 2F. Are we getting?
Like this.
Yeah, so measure that distance, put that number.
And this distance
That distance gives you the image distance.
to 80.
Yes. And measure the height of the image.
This one?
Yeah, pull that vertical ruler and measure the height of the image.
So like 49.
Yes, put that number there. And then you need to put on the labels. It will tell you what kind of image is formed. What kind of image it is?
Real.
Yeah, so put the word real. And is it inverted or an upright image? You can see it here. Is the pencil inverted or upright?
Inverted.
Yes. So now do the same thing for the rest of the distances. Are we getting? Yeah, good one. You're doing good. And you
The
can
height is always 58.
yes. The object height doesn't change. It's always the same. Okay, are we getting? Okay, are we getting, ma'am? Not really? Okay. So do you have this information, 80, and how much is your 2F? Pick the calculator and measure it. How much would be your 2F? If F is 80, how much is your 2F?
Yes.
Yeah, give me a moment. 160. Got it? Now, how do you know the height? Measure this height of the pencil. You can pull this ruler and then measure
Okay,
it.
is this one for sure 70?
Just pull the ruler. Yeah, good. How much is that? Yeah, put 60. Good. Now what we are doing is working on this side, okay? Do you see DO, DI? And the first condition is this. Your object has to be beyond 2A. Okay? So this object has to be placed from the lens beyond 2A. Okay? So your distance from here to here has to be beyond 160. So how much distance you choose is your choice. So please measure this distance. So how much you think is beyond 2F? Do you see the object here? Do you see the lens? So pull this ruler to measure the distance from the object to the lens. How much is that? 180. So is that greater than 160? So that's beyond 250. The word beyond 250 means greater than 160. So put that number here. Do you see an image formed on the other side of the lens? So measure the distance from the image to the lens and put that number here. How much is that? Yeah. Do you see DI? DI stands for the image of the distance. Got it? Now let's find the height of the image. Pull that ruler and measure the height of the image. So how much is that? Yeah, put that. Do you see the label for the image?
Real image?
Yes. So the question is asking you whether it is real or virtual. What kind of image you see there? A real image. Is that inverted or upright? Is the pencil inverted or upright?
Inverted.
Yes. So what is that? Inverted. Anybody has any questions? Okay. Yes. You confused? Okay. Let's see first on this side the data. How much was your focal distance?
80.
And then 2F is 160. So what you do is, first this is your object, okay? So place the object beyond 2F. So this distance has to be more than 160.
Okay, so I think instead of
Yes,
right
200,
here,
yeah, that's fine.
all the way to 200.
Yes, so how much is your DIVO, the distance of the object? From here to the lens. So how much is that?
200.
Yeah, so put 200 here, correct?
I was just really confused on
Yes,
what to do.
and then bring the image into the frame, please. Yeah, now measure this distance, that's your DI. So how much is that distance? From the lens to the image. You can use the starting of the ruler so that it's not confusing. Or you can say like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
2 4s, 6, 10, 12.
Or 140. So put that number here. Got it? Yeah, 140. And measure the height of the image. Bring the image into the thing and then look for the vertical scale, vertical ruler, and then measure the height of the image. How much is that?
Should be about 40.
Yeah, so put that number here. Okay? Do you see the label for the image?
What?
The label. If you have everything in the screen, you can see the label. Select the label. It will tell you what kind of image is formed. So what kind of image?
Real?
Yes, put that word here. Why do you think it's real?
Because
It's on the other side of the lens.
ah,
Okay? If it is on the same side of the lens as the object, we call it virtual. If it is on the other side of the lens, we call it
real.
real. That's why real. Is it inverted or upright?
Inverted.
Yes, put that. Hey, you need to share with him or with him. Chromebook, okay? So now see that, follow the same conditions and then look for your DI, DO. Got it?
Okay.
And then look for what kind of image.
So I just do it at different angles.
Yes.
At all.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, do we have any questions?
I would do this one. It's like in the
Okay, so yeah, good. So whenever you place the object at the focal length, okay? Do you see no image is being formed? Did you all place it at the focal point? Yeah, try it at the focal point. Pull the object to the focal point. Did you? Okay, did you? Do you see any image? No image is formed, okay? So for such kind of things, you can say no image is formed. And for the length of the image, it's infinite. You don't know where the image would be formed. Because those two lines are never going to meet. You're getting my point?
No.
Okay.
So this is
Yeah, just put infinite. And then write it as no image.
right here.
Yes. Do we have any questions?
But infinite for the DO and the DI.
No, DIVO you know where it is placed. Where it is placed for DIVO?
Oh,
60.
Yeah, it's 60 or 80. DIVO is placed on the focal point, so it's 80. Okay? But DI is nowhere to be seen. Are we getting? That's where you put the infinite. Okay, your next one is going to be between the focal point and the lens. Are we getting? Kevin, are we getting? You got any questions? Now I have a question for you. So what is the difference between real and virtual image?
Like it looks, if it's virtual, it like flips, like inverted on the other side.
You need to say like, if the image is formed as the object on the same side of the lens, we call it as virtual.
So I need to like make it like sciencey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if the image is formed on the other side of the lens, we call it
Real.
real. Good. Good, very good. Okay, so now we,
For this, we just measure it still, like,
yes, you still have to measure, but the image is on the same side of the lens.
so it'd be negative.
Yeah, negative, good. That's a good concept. Negative, good. Hey, do we have any questions here?
Yeah,
You're still confused? Okay. Do you see these numbers here? So that's your focal length. And this is your twin. You know what is focal point?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm just doing all these.
Yeah. Okay, now what we do is we have to follow these conditions. The first condition is beyond 2x. So your object have to be placed beyond 2x.
Like there?
Yes. So now measure the distance. How much is the distance? To the lens.
Oh, to the lens?
Yeah, if you think the ruler is not sufficient, decrease this distance so that you can measure. Got it? Yeah, now measure it. How much is the distance you placed? It's okay, even you can choose whatever you have written here. How much is that? The starting distance you measure? 180, so keep this distance 180.
Do I have to put it all the way up here?
Keep anywhere, but the only condition is beyond 2f. It has to be bigger than 2f. That's the only condition you got. Where you keep is your choice. So how much is that? 180, okay? And this distance is where it goes, di. And this height is where it goes, ho. Okay? Did you understand now? And do you see what kind of image is formed? Real. So why do you call it real? You don't know, okay.